Okay guys, here's our next Passover book, Too Many Cooks, and it says a Passover parable. So a parable is something, maybe we could learn something from it, like there's a message or a point or a value that we can take away from this story, something to kind of help us as people. So Too Many Cooks by Eddie Zalkauer and Shauna Kowalski. It was spring, time for Passover. Bubby was busy in the kitchen cooking for the Seder, the special meal that begins the holiday. Chop, 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 Bubby was making harosas. As she chopped the walnuts and apples in her big wooden bowl, she sang to the beat of the chopper. Pesach, 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 time is here. Just then the phone rang. Bubby stopped chopping and answered. Hello, said Bubby. Elaine, how are you? Elaine was Bubby's best friend. Bubby tried to keep chopping, but she couldn't hear Elaine over the noise. Chop, chop, chop. So she left the harosas on the counter and took the phone into the living room. As she talked, she straightened the house. Bubby wanted everything to look nice for the Seder, which would begin at sundown. While Bubby was talking and fluffing the pillows, Aunt Franny walked into the kitchen to get a drink of water. She saw the harosa sitting on the counter in the big wooden bowl. She thought, Bubby's harosa always tastes a little bland. I think I'll add my own secret ingredient to spice it up. She opened the refrigerator and looked around. She found a lemon. Lemon juice makes everything taste tangy, she said. She cut the lemon in half, squeezed some juice into the bowl, and mixed it up. Chop, chop, chop. No need to taste it, she said. I just know the harosa will be so delicious. Won't Bubby be surprised? Aunt Franny poured a glass of water, squeezed in a little lemon juice, and left. So that's not normally so good for a recipe, right? To mess it up, and Bubby doesn't even know. Meanwhile, Bubby fluttered around the living room with the feather duster and told Elaine about her book club. A few minutes later, Uncle Matty walked into the kitchen looking for a snack. He saw the harosa sitting on the counter in the big wooden bowl. He thought, Bubby's harosas always taste a little bland. I think I'll add my own secret ingredient to spice it up. He opened the refrigerator and looked around. He found a jar of horseradish. A little horseradish always makes things taste a little more exciting, he said. So he added a couple of spoonfuls to the harosas and mixed it in. Chop, chop, chop. No need to taste it, he said. I just know the harosa will be so delicious. Won't Bubby be surprised? Uncle Matty took an apple from the fruit bowl and left. So now one person added lemon juice and one person added horseradish to Bubby's harosa. Bubby moved into the bathroom. As she hung fresh towels, she told Elaine about the karate class she's taking. Bubby is very active. Book clubs, karate classes. Zadie walked into the kitchen looking for Bubby. He saw the harosa sitting on the counter in the big wooden bowl. He thought. I think there's a pattern, right? Bubby's harosas always taste a little bland. I think I'll add my own secret ingredient to spice it up. He opened the refrigerator and looked around. He found a bottle of prune juice. A little prune juice can't hurt, he said. So he poured some in the bowl and mixed it in. Chop, chop, chop. No need to taste it, he said. I just know the harosa will be so delicious. Won't Bubby be surprised? So lemon juice, prune juice, and what was the first thing? And horseradish. A lot of extra items. Finally, Bubby said goodbye to Elaine and hung up the phone. She returned to the kitchen. She was about to put the bowl of Herosas in the refrigerator when she remembered something. What'd she remember? She thought, my Herosas always taste a little bland. I think I'll add my own secret ingredient to spice it up. What is she gonna add now? So she opened the cupboard and looked around. She found a can of cocoa powder, like to make hot chocolate or chocolate milk. It's ground up chocolate. Everyone loves chocolate, she said. So she sprinkled it over the Herosas and mixed it in. Chop, chop, chop. So, no need to taste it, she said. I know the Herosas will be so delicious. Won't everyone be surprised? So there's been a lot of extra items added to this Herosas. Soon, it was sundown and the time for the Seder to begin. Everyone gathered around the beautiful table dressed in their best clothes. See the family all gathering around? Bubby began by lighting the candles and saying the blessing. Zadie followed with the blessing over wine. Family members took turns telling the story of the Israelite slaves and how Moses led them out of Egypt. Cousin Sarah, who was the youngest, asked the 4 questions, and Uncle Matty led the singing. Everyone was waiting to taste the matzah, the bitter herbs, and Bubby's Herosas. At last it was time. Everyone took a piece of bitter herbs and dipped it into their Herosas. After reciting the blessing, they took a bite. Instead of the usual oohs and ahs, there was complete silence. Why were they silent? Until Bubby stood up and announced, Oi! The Herosas is a catastrophe! It's atrocious also, she said. Atrocious. Atrocious is really awful, really bad. Oh, Bubby, said Cousin Sarah, wrinkling her nose. This doesn't taste like your Herosas at all. It certainly doesn't, Bubby sighed. I guess it was my secret ingredient. Do you guys think it was the chocolate that made it taste bad, or all those people adding different things in without telling her? And mine, admitted Aunt Franny. Mine too, said Uncle Matty. Don't forget mine, added Zadie. I guess too many cooks spoiled the Herosas. So they all put things in and it didn't taste good together. It wasn't the right combination. We can't have a Seder without Herosas, cried Cousin Ben. What will we do? Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. Knock, knock. I wonder who that could be, asked Zadie. Let's see who it is. Maybe it's Elijah, said Cousin Ben, running to open the door. Instead, he found Rachel and her brother Jonathan, who lived next door. Happy Pesach, everyone, said Rachel. She handed Ben a big blue bowl covered with plastic wrap. What's this? Asked Bubby, taking the bowl from Ben. It's Herosas, answered Jonathan. We made it at religious school for our model Seder, and we made way too much, added Rachel. Mom suggested we bring you some. Hope you like it, and happy Passover. So their Seder was rescued because the neighbor had some extra Herosas. Bubby smiled. Thank you, and a wonderful Pesach to you too. As she walked back to the table, she sang, Pesach, 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 time is here. Dear. Okay, guys, have a good night.